we're going to go ahead and multiply these three matrices, but before we do that, we need to make sure that the dimensions fit. So in the first example, it looks like we have a 2 by 2 matrix, and we have another 2 by 2 matrix. And the trick is that the columns for the first matrix match the rows in the second matrix. If these match, then now we can say that our matrix is going to be a 2 by 2. So we take those values that we had in the matrix, and now we can go ahead and set this up. And I'm going to be a little detailed here. Here I have a 2 by 2 because I want to talk about how we're going to find the solution. So let's just focus on row 1, column 1. Notice what I just said, row 1, column 1. So that means you're going to multiply row 1 of the first matrix times column 1 of the second matrix. And here we're basically going to do a dot product. So we're multiplying -5 times -2 plus -5 times 3. And we'll simplify that in a second. So let's focus on row 1, column 2. If you look at the matrix, we're going to multiply row 1, which I have highlighted there, times column 2, which is going to be, whoops, looks like I erased it. Oopsie daisy. So we're going to multiply it by that column there, -3 and 5. And again, we sort of just do a dot product with these values. So -5 times -3 plus -5 times 5. Okay, let's go ahead and continue that process. So now we are going to do row 2, column 1, row 2, and column 1. So that's 1 times -2 plus 2 times 3. And we're going to do the same for the last one there. We have row 2, column 2. 1 times -3 plus 5. Now we can go ahead and simplify this. So for the first one, we have -10. Positive 10 minus 15. So that's -5. And then we have 15 minus 25. So -10. And it looks like we have -2 plus 6. That's going to be 4. And then we have -3 times, or -3 plus 10. So that's going to be 7. And there's the answer for the first product. So let's go ahead and do the next example. I'm just going to erase a couple things here. As I'm doing that, I just want to take the time and thank you for being here and practicing your matrices. So let's go to the next one. So now let's look at the dimensions here. We have a 3 by 2, and then we have a 2 by 2. So the columns in the first matrix match the rows in the second matrix, and that means that our solution is going to be a 3 by 2. I guess maybe I should have written that a little better. Give me 1 second here. There we go, much better. Okay, so let's just focus on, let's do the first row, first column. So we have 0 times, whoops, like I'm using a highlighter there. I want that. So I have 0 times -4 plus 5 times -2. And I'm just going to continue that process. I'm going to go to the first row, second column. 0 times 4, 5 times -4. And let's continue that process. So first row, or second row, first column. -3 times -4 plus 1 times -2. And now let's do the second row, second column. -3 times 4 plus 1 time. And let's do that last one. We have -5 times -4 plus 1 times -2. And then -5 times +4 plus 1 times -4. And now let's simplify this. And honestly, I think the hardest part is just simplifying and making sure that we do our algebra right. I think that's what happens when we have matrices or any sort of linear algebra problem. It's going to be the algebra that really gets us. So it looks like we have -10, -20, and we have -12 minus 2, so -14. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a +12. I mentioned sometimes our math can go a little off sometimes. Okay, so we have 10, and then we have -12 4, so it's -16. And then for that last row, we have 20 minus 2, so that's 18. And then we have -20 minus 4, which is, there you go. And if you felt like I made a mistake somewhere, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Just going to erase this, and we're going to do our last example here. Let's go ahead and find the dimensions really quick. Erase this. Okay, here we go. For the last example, looks like we have a 4x2, and then the next one is a 2x3. So as I mentioned, the columns in the first one match the rows in the second. So that means that our answer is going to be a 4x3. And this is a long one, so it always takes time. I think I wrote it big enough. So let's see. All 4 rows and 3 columns, I think. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do the entire first row and then work our way in every row after that. So for the first row, first column, that's the only part I'm going to highlight. After that, I'm just going to continue the process. So -2 times 2 minus 6 times negative. And I'm going to continue with the next one. So -2 times -2 minus 6 times 1. Go. First row, third column. So -2 times 2 minus 6 times. All right, I'm going to go ahead and continue that process, but hopefully you kind of understood the idea here. And I encourage you to continue practicing on your own. That's how you're going to get better at math. Okay, there is my second row. Now let's continue. And I know at this point, some people just prefer to have a calculator. And I agree. At this point, it's just so much easier to just do a calculator. There we go. And then we got the very last row. 4 times 2 minus 6 times -2. 4 times -2 minus 6 times 0. Ooh, that 0 is so nice. Then we got 4 times 2 minus 6 times -3. Yeah, let's go ahead and simplify it. So I have -4 plus 12. It's going to be 8. I'm going to continue with the next one. +4. That's going to just be nice. And then I have -4 plus 18. Okay, so -8 minus 6, that's going to be -10. Next one is just not negative, +8. And then -8 minus 9. -17 there. Okay, and then we got just 10. We got -10. And then we got 10 for the... Ooh, that's so nice. Okay, and then the next one we got 8 plus 12. That's 20. And then we just got -8. And then for the last one, we just got 8 plus 18. That's going to be 26. And there you go. And that is how you multiply matrices. I hope you liked this lesson. If there's anything else that you want to review, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, go ahead and subscribe. Follow me here on my YouTube channel or Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you soon, Math Nerds.